Empower the next generation by freely giving them your wisdom, your plans, and your support. Today, we are walking through chapter 28, but our focus is the powerful prayer of Jabez from chapter 4, and we're using it as a key to unlock the rest of this incredible book. It's more than just a list of names, it's a story of God's faithfulness, our spiritual identity, and the power we have when we ask God to bless us indeed and enlarge our coasts. The upcoming generations need our love, leverage, and loyalty. Let's set down our pride and give them something that they can work with. If you would like to share this complete comprehensive study with our community, comment study, and I will send you my full First Chronicles study, Jabez's prayer transcript link for free. All right. So check out this next chapter. Peace.
Week 4, A Heart of Worship and Giving, Chapter 28, Passing the Torch. This chapter is David's final public address. He gathers all the leaders of Israel, the officials, the army commanders, the tribal leaders, and his personal staff, to formally and publicly hand over the responsibility of the kingdom and the building of the temple to his son Solomon. It is an act of immense generosity, as David gives away not just his crown, but the divine blueprint for his life's dream. A breakdown of the chapter. 1. David's public address, verses 1 to 8. David stands before the assembly and shares his heart. He tells them his personal desire was to build the temple, but that God had chosen his son Solomon, a man of peace, for the task. He recounts God's covenant promise to establish his kingdom forever. He charges all the leaders of Israel to keep and seek for all the commandments of the Lord your God, telling them that their obedience is the key to possessing the land and leaving it as an inheritance for their children. 2. David's personal charge to Solomon, verses 9 to 10. David then turns to Solomon in front of everyone and gives him one of the most beautiful and complete charges in all of Scripture. And thou, Solomon my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for the Lord hath chosen thee to build an house for the sanctuary. Be strong, and do it. 3. The divine blueprint, verses 11 to 21. Finally, David gives Solomon something priceless, the detailed plans for the temple. The text makes it clear these were not David's own ideas. It was a divine blueprint that David received by the Spirit, verse 12, and that the Lord made me understand in writing by his hand upon me, verse 19. He gives Solomon the plans for every part of the structure, the lists of materials, and the organized divisions of the priests and Levites. He concludes with a final word of encouragement, promising that God will be with him, and that the skilled workers are ready and willing to help. Connecting to our theme, a heart of worship and giving, this chapter is a masterclass in giving. 1. Giving away a dream. David's greatest act of giving was not his money, but his dream. He wanted to build the temple, but he lovingly and publicly handed that honor over to his son. A heart of giving is willing to let others fulfill the vision. 2. Giving wisdom and encouragement. David's charge to Solomon is a gift of pure spiritual wisdom passed from a father to a son. He gave him the formula for a successful life. Know God, serve him willingly, seek him, and be strong. 3. Giving the plan. David didn't just tell Solomon what to do, he gave him the divine blueprint for how to do it. He freely gave away the very pattern God had given to him. This is a picture of spiritual mentorship, passing on the wisdom and revelation we have received to the next generation. Reflection. Questions for your group. 1. David publicly affirmed Solomon and gave him the credit for the work to come. Why is public encouragement and affirmation so important? 2. David's charge to Solomon was to serve God with a perfect heart and a willing mind. What is the difference between serving God out of duty and serving him with a willing mind? 3. David passed on the pattern God had given him. What is a piece of wisdom or a pattern of faith that someone has passed on to you? What can you pass on to someone else? Key takeaway for Chapter 28. A true heart of worship and giving finds its greatest fulfillment in empowering the next generation to build the future, freely giving away the dream, the wisdom, and the plans.